It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, folks, if you look on that gigantic Sharp Interactive board, you're going to see a couple of new faces. It is with great honor that I brought a couple of folks from Toshiba Tech. We got Maegan and Peter, and they're really going to share some insights on what they're doing in the software space because, folks, at the end of the day, I don't know how long ago it was, but I shared some news that I believe it was Gardner put out there, that a business spends over $4,000 a year per employee for software. And that's a big number. And I think our industry has to get into software if we want to grab some of that revenue. So Peter and Maegan, it's great having you on. And we're going to talk about Elevate Sky and all the great things that you guys are doing with Toshiba software. So Peter, let me just start with you. Kind of introduce yourself to the audience. And then you could throw it over to Maegan. And you guys start telling us what you're doing different there at Toshiba to change the game for our dealer friends.
Thanks, Ray, for the opportunity to visit with you and your audience. My name is Peter Davey. I'm the VP of Solutions and Professional Services for Toshiba America Business Solutions North America. Maegan?
Hi. So good to see everybody, and thanks, Ray, and your community for inviting us here to talk about some of the fun stuff that we're doing behind the scenes. I get an opportunity to partner with Peter in the field, and my role is in solutions marketing. I get to manage our vendors and our third-party tech and bring them to market to you and your customers.
Well, Maegan, I got to ask you a question because you got really a cool background. Is it one of them fake backgrounds, or are you actually in some place that actually looks like that?
You want to take a look? Let's see if we can move something back.
Oh, well, it's not moving around with you. There you go. She's lifting the lid on an MFP. Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Welcome to Team Toshiba HQ.
I just had to, clarify that. It's a nice facility there. So obviously you got a good work environment. So Maegan, tell us what's new with Toshiba and the software application. What are you telling dealers to help them differentiate themselves against the competition and more importantly, bring their end users some added value?
Hey, that is a great question. Team Toshiba is customer obsessed, and we are constantly looking down the field to what problems our customers experience today and how we can use modern day technology to solve those problems. And this new product has been a bit of a passion project for Peter and I for a couple years now, and we are so excited to bring it to market because it's really doing what we've always done, but better. And I'd like to ask Peter to give you guys a little bit of an overview on that. Peter?
Yeah, thanks, Maegan. So, Ray, you asked about our Elevate Sky portfolio. So, a couple of years ago, we started planning a strategy whereby we would build out our own portfolio of Toshiba solutions that would enable us to add more value around the MFP and then really help customers in their journey towards the cloud and in their digital transformation efforts. So, last year, we announced a cloud-based printing platform or output management platform, Elevate Sky Print Management, which has been remarkably successful, and we continue to innovate and develop that platform. Earlier on this year, we announced Elevate Sky Translate, which similarly is a cloud-based language translation application. Also a phenomenal solution, gaining great traction in education and many other areas. And then just this week, we announced Elevate Sky Workflow, which, like Maegan said, is a bit of a passion project for me and a few others. So basically, I'll just give you a little bit of background on Elevate Sky Workflow. It's a cloud-based middleware platform that enables capturing documents from really any source, MFPs, phones, scanners, cloud storage, your desktop, processing those documents. We got some great stuff going on. We're leveraging AI. We're using Microsoft Stack, so we're really able to take what was previously only available from an intelligent document processing standpoint in enterprise-grade applications and bringing it to the SMB. And then the other part of it is routing. So we're able to route those documents and the data we've extracted to different destinations. It could be a simple cloud storage service like Dropbox or OneDrive, but most interestingly for us, we're opening up a whole world of thousands of applications via what's known as iPaaS, which is Integration Platform as a Service. There's two iPaaS platforms that we work with today, Make.com and Zapier. So that's the initial release this week. We've got phenomenal plans for the platform. I was on a weekly call last night with the development team going through the upcoming fall release, let's just say, and it's just going to be absolutely phenomenal. So we're really excited about what we're doing with Elevate Sky Workflow.
And of course, the dealers can get demos. We don't want to do a demo here now; it'd take too long. But Maegan, let me ask you a question, because everybody's talking about digital transformation. You're on the front lines with our dealer friends. But let's just be the cynical old dealer owner, and I would say how the hell do I make money? So if I sell the MFP, I know how to make money. I sell the MFP, I put on a lease, I get my money from the lease company, and I sell them a service contract, includes parts, supplies. It's easy, I can figure it out. But how do I make money on this Elevate Sky? Are you guys going to have I know we sell DocuWare. A lot of folks do that. You guys are really big in DocuWare. But is there an avenue for a dealer to actually monetize this, even if they don't sell a Toshiba machine, if you will?
Yeah, that's a really great question. The first thing that I would say is, you've got to look at our traditional business today and the resources that you have, the business models that you have, and try to identify offerings that fit within those different kind of frameworks and figure out how you can sell different solutions, so adjacent market solutions to those customers, or in this case, empower your dealers to sell them to the customers. And I think when you look at the document lifecycle, we as an organization, and I think as an industry, we've done a phenomenal job at monetizing the output management space. And we've done a really good job of being consultative through kind of the capture, workflow, and document management space. Mm-hmm. But it's really been project-based. It's been PS scope, so professional services have always been involved. Usually there's a long deployment process, and you really have to ensure adoption and that the data and the documents are going to a repository so that people access and use that long term. And quite frankly, a lot of dealers have been reluctant to get into that kind of capture, workflow, document management space, because it requires you to really have a practice in this digital transformation space. You can't just do one project, here and there and expect to have a certain level of knowledge and subject matter expertise that your customers really demand you have these days. And so, we looked at this overall space and we said, what could we do to help support the dealer organization to better monetize the capture, workflow, and then document management space in a way that they understand, that fits their business model, that fits their sales organization strategy? And that's really where Elevate Sky Workflow came into place. This offering is one of several offerings underneath the Elevate Sky portfolio. That's kind of our platform overall. And it really centered around consumption-based in the capture space. And to tell you a little bit more about that, I'll flip it over to Peter to give you some insight on that.
I want to pick up real quick.
Yeah, thanks.
Peter, let me just pick up real quick on something. So if I'm a dealer and I want to, let's just say I want to build a practice around, let's really move this Elevate Sky or this Toshiba software platform, I don't necessarily need to be an expert in DocuWare or any kind of depository. Because I know you can move information in any kind of depository, DocuWare obviously being one, but it doesn't take an expertise on my end to do that. This is more about a plug and play type of software that's a little bit easier for not only me to understand, but the end user too. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, and I'll take that a step farther. I mean, for those of you guys in the audience that know me, I grew up in this industry, right? Like I met so many of you selling the Drive image software, name it, scan it, store it, right? Capture, process, route. And as good as that story was, it was still a server-based application that required scoping on the front end to determine where the documents are coming from, where they're going, who needs to have access to them. And quite frankly, sales reps, the skill set for them to navigate that type of a sales cycle took a lot of investment, and especially when we continuously had this turnover. And so what we're trying to do, which is something I'm really passionate about, is use the current tech that's out there, AI and iPaaS, like Peter mentioned, and help dealers accelerate that sales cycle by removing a lot of the friction around understanding how to classify documents, how to integrate with line of business applications. When Peter says we integrate with not just one, not dozens, but over 2,000 systems, we're not talking about a solutions consultant sitting there configuring this stuff every single night, waiting for deployment, waiting for sign off on gear implementation so you can get funding so that the sales reps can get comped. I mean, we're really talking about accelerating the velocity of implementation and helping you sell more quicker and get funded faster so that your customers have this digital transformation experience. But again, important, we're monetizing through consumption here, and that's where that next answer comes from Peter in.
No, that's awesome, because
it's
clear.
Ray, let me elaborate a bit on that. So what we're really attempting to do here is to take the friction out of the overall transaction, right? So The way it's priced and packaged is very straightforward. The upfront scoping is very minimal because inherently the AI makes the capture component of this self-learning, right? So if you think about in a typical legacy production capture solution, you're having to do a lot of discovery, a lot of business requirements gathering, a lot of scoping. You've got long implementation cycles, but that's because inherently in that space there's a lot of training involved.
Mm-hmm.
With Elevate Sky Workflow leveraging AI, you can put together a workflow and deploy it in an afternoon. And let me just give you an example. So with a legacy system, you would have to train it on different invoices from different customers. With our solution, because AI has really revolutionized the document capture space, you create an invoicing workflow. It pushes out a button to the MFP or phones or whatever way you're ingesting the documents, and you just throw documents, invoices at the process. It'll ingest them and extract the content. So it's really designed to be a kind of a magical solution, very frictionless configuration, pricing, packaging, implementation, and support. And then most importantly, the user experience is very straightforward. So we're doing that with the whole portfolio. Our Elevate Sky Print Management solution is really as simple as you can make an output management solution. The same with Translate, the same with Workflow, and really enabling resellers who maybe don't have a lot of resources or capacity, enabling them with a set of products that they can do probably what they could not have done before. So hopefully that adds a little bit of color.
Yeah, I mean, Peter, at the end of the day, and Maegan, you've been around, you guys have been around long enough to understand this, but you get a dealer rep, they'll run out there, they'll sell PaperCut as an example, some software package. I'm just going to pick on PaperCut for a minute here. And then, they'll run back to the office, they'll ring the bell, they sold it for some crazy gross profit, everybody's all damn excited about it. And then a year and a half later, after we flew in PaperCut experts twice to set it all up, the dealer finally takes a minute and looks at that and realizes, holy crap, we just lost $50,000 doing a PaperCut deal. So it sounds to me, if I'm implementing your software, I know if it works or it doesn't work right then.
Yeah.
We built the application, it either works or it doesn't, we monetize it to the customer, and it sounds fantastic. So how would the folks or the dealers get access to a demo? Would that be, they reach out to Maegan? Is that your responsibility?
We have far smarter people on Peter's team to help you guys with that. We have just sent our official marketing bulletin announcement out to our dealer community. That'll officially go live on July 8th. So if you're watching this right now and you're our dealer, we're inviting you in for an exclusive launch on July 8th. And then we're also launching to our dealer council over the next kind of a week or two to prepare them for this in advance. So it's something that as soon as it launches, you will have access to all of the go-to-market enablement tools that my team puts together. So that's your brochures, your PowerPoint decks, all of the enablement resources on the training side. There'll be some good incentives for you as well. And we're really excited to have you guys try this. We think it's game-changing.
We'll put that information in the comments of today when I post this. And then, I would tell you both that we have to be able to help the dealers navigate this journey as we go through this intersection between the digital and physical world, as I call it. Customer experience is determined in that intersection, and the better we're able to navigate through it, the better we're going to be, and the more money we can make. And why the hell don't we want to get some of that $4,000 per employee per month for software that companies spend? Is there anything you want to add before we end this? Start with you, Peter.
Yeah, real quick. We've got two overarching goals for Elevate Sky Workflow. One is to enable our resellers to better integrate with their customers' applications, and that will help them sell MFPs. So that's kind of a traditional, goal for the platform. And then, like Maegan has talked about, the second and more transformational and progressive goal is about enabling them to generate new lines of revenue through selling device adjacent software. And we're really innovating in the way we're going to market from a pricing and packaging with the term-based consumption model. So it is about growing their software business. If they have a solutions practice, that's a very big part of what the suite of solutions do. But it's also about enabling them to better integrate hardware and win more MFP deals if that's what they want to do. So it's a multifaceted approach to enabling our dealer community with a great set of software that enables them to grow their business. So that's about it for me, Ray.
Okay. Maegan?
I would say at the end of the day for Toshiba, as we look forward into how we're challenging this future of workspace, we're taking pieces of technology that exist and we're looking for the way to fuse that into our portfolio. And we're changing from the inside out to better serve you. I mean, one of the things I love about Toshiba is our culture and just the fact that we have a bunch of passionate people who love to solve problems. And as you're out there talking to your customers, if you have an idea or a concept of how we can help solve a document centric problem for a customer, let us know. We are specifically in my team always looking for ways where we can help solve customer problems. And we have amazing people like Peter's team and our dev team, our support organization that just jumps straight in and with full passion and conviction tries to figure out how to show up best for our customers. So we're excited about this new wave. We know with this offering, you're getting distributed capture in the cloud with AI and iPaaS integration. And if those buzzwords don't equal an awesome tech stack, I don't know what will. So we hope you guys follow along, and we thank you guys so much for listening today and hearing a little bit about what Team Toshiba's been up to.
I'll just say, we all love the buzzwords, but it's always better when we can actually make money from them. Because everybody watching me knows this status quo is the killer of all to be invented. Don't get stuck there, and I'll see you all tomorrow.